Another Monday.
I'm gonna call in today because I just
There's a call for you on line 1.
I quit.
Let me talk to your manager.
Can I see you in my office?
Are you on your lunch
Hey,
break?
will you trade shifts with me?
Oh, I didn't notice you were on the
Oh,
phone.
I'm sorry. Am I interrupting you?
You can stay late, right?
Ugh. Is it Friday yet?
Hi, guys, and welcome to What the Monday podcast.
I'm Lydia.
And I'm Addison
And we're your hosts.
of the podcast.
Shocker.
What? Since, we're the ones talking.
So this is a podcast all about our scary, horrifying, funny...
Hilarious, entertaining, weird work stories.
Yes, we have some good ones too. So in today's episode, we're going to be talking about a tiger and a felon.
So the reason we decided to start a podcast
Is because, we all work the crazy 9 to 5 or have worked it before. We've all had a boss that we hate, coworkers that we hate, crazy customers that make our lives horrible.
Truth. And we've worked retail, we've worked overnight shifts,
Yeah, both of us have had really a diverse job experience.
and weird things happen at work.
Yeah.
And maybe we don't enjoy every day, but we can find the humor in every day.
Right.
And that's what brings us here is humor.
It is. It's comedy is what happens. Because I
So-
know I use comedy to mask everything.
Oh my God. Humor is my coping mechanism.
Right.
So if I'm having a really bad work day, you can tell because I'm laughing more.
Oh, that's
At
funny.
the ridiculous stuff.
Maybe I do that too because all my coworkers are like, Lydia, you're so positive all the time. You're so happy all the time. I'm like, I'm just masking everything with humor.
It's a lie. So yeah, I've done this a lot of times actually, where someone will come in and give me like really horrible news about like, oh, that whole project and system you were working on, they deleted the whole thing. Oh my God. And I break down and lose it, but laughing for like an hour. Because if you don't laugh about it, you're gonna cry about it. And I just don't like crying. Like,
Yeah,
it's just
crying's
not
not
worth
fun.
it. No.
Plus, you don't want people to see you like that. That just really puts a bad image.
I'm such an
People's
introvert.
mind.
But the laughing, that I can do.
Exactly. I always go to other resources to help me cope with stuff. So I figured if we are a resource for someone else, that's great.
Yeah, this is not a rant session, right? This is not just us talking about, oh, my day was rough because I had to file papers or
Right.
whatever. This is a let's talk about the funny, uplifting, entertaining, relatable work stories. Maybe they're relatable. I've never worked at a zoo, but I'm excited to hear what it's like. We're going to give some encouragement, and some
Yes.
positive tips and things that have helped us.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I always want to find whenever I'm looking up stuff. I always go to other resources to find coping mechanisms
Absolutely.
along with my laughter.
At least like 8 times this year, I've Googled like how to not drown in email, like help email is trying to kill me, like that stuff. And it comes back with really useful tips. And okay, maybe we're not like the self-help blog or anything.
Right.
We're going to be funny.
Exactly. At least you can laugh.
Right.
Or laugh at our misery.
You know what they say? Laughter is the best medicine.
That's very true.
That's what they say.
It is.
We're giving
They
you
say a lot of
medicine.
stuff.
Medicine that will help keep you alive.
But please see a doctor if you have a real medical condition.
Please consult your physician before beginning any comedic routine. We've worked in various jobs.
Yes.
So I have worked in retail and a little bit of food service, but more retail-esque in a coffee shop and stuff like that. And then in the apartment industry, which is just all kinds of crazy.
Really fun stories, though.
So entertaining. What people do at home is weird.
Scary.
So weird.
I really like the property management ones.
They're fun.
That's crazy. It's insane.
Really fun to make light of my traumas. I enjoy it.
I'm glad. So I've been in retail and business, pretty much done office management for a long time. I've been in real estate. I worked at a zoo. I did a lot of different things at the zoo.
The zoo stories are so
I
cool.
know. Zoo stories are great. They are. It's really fun. But-
Like, how many people can say they worked at a zoo?
And it was a really fun job just because you
It's a
can't be,
zoo.
yeah, and you can't be mad. Like, there's not a lot of mad customers. Like, everybody's like there with their kids, they're with their family.
It's a fun
like,
outing. You're
Yeah,
gonna see
and
the
they're
animals.
not,
They're not like, oh,
For
I
the
need to
most part.
return these shoes and yell at the customer service lady. No,
Right,
it's like,
right.
oh, I want to see the giraffe.
yes, and everybody thinks it's so cool that you work there too. They just want to ask you all these types of questions. So you're like a celebrity or a zoo
A
celebrity.
zoo celebrity. A
Because everybody,
celebrity.
wants to ask you questions. Yeah.
Are you a celebrity?
I'm an ex-celebrity now. So we've been friends since birth. Our parents were friends.
And then they
had
birthed us.
That's literally what they're
And
afraid of.
we grew up together in Texas.
Yes.
In the heat.
Ugh.
God, guys, I don't know how
I
you
miss
do
Texas,
it.
though.
No, I don't.
Do.
I'm sorry.
People
I like.
are so nice.
Yeah, people are nice, but it's so hot
Okay, yeah, it's really hot there.
and humid.
But have you been to Florida because of the
Sticky.
humidity?
No. Why would
I can talk. The humidity
Humidity.
is worse. Great story. I
So
know.
one of us. So we grew up in Texas together.
Yes.
One of us misses it. One of us doesn't.
We are now in Colorado.
We are. It's been a
Lovely
little bit of a
Colorado.
journey.
Yeah.
20 some odd years later, we are still friends.
Yeah.
Because we're cool.
We're weird together.
We're
That's
so
why.
weird together.
We are. People think I'm weird because, like, I just sit at my desk and crack up laughing. And they're like, "Oh, what are you listening to?" My own thoughts.
My
I don't know.
brain. I was sitting at my desk and I started cracking up and just like giggling to myself. And my coworker looked over at me. He was like, "You really think you're funny, don't you?"
Yes.
And I was like, "Yeah, don't you?" And he was like, And he just turned around and kept
Aw.
working.
That's so mean.
Yeah, he stopped showing up for work, so I'm pretty sure that's on
Oh.
him. But
Well, there you go. That
it did stick with me for a minute.
I have the Shakespearean insults cup
Yeah.
at work that you gave me.
Yeah.
I love showing it to people. I'm horrible. Like, look at my cup.
Look at my cup.
Look at my mug.
It's gonna make you feel insulted.
I love it though.
Oh, it's
Because I want to say those all the time. They're
it's intellectual. I don't remember what it says.
sophisticated insulting.
That's the best way to do it.
Right. So do you want to tell a story?
So once upon a time, in a faraway magical property that shall remain nameless,
Something
I was
happened?
a property manager. It was the first property that I managed, and I was so excited to like try and do a good job and try and turn this property around because it wasn't doing well at all. Like it had not been very well taken care of. The buildings weren't really on a good foundation, so they were kind of sliding down the hill, and then the pipes were bursting because pipes don't slide. And so then there was water inside.
So you worked
and
at the
then
sliding apartments.
I worked
Got
at the
you.
sliding apartments. That's what we'll call them for the moment. So leasing that place was real fun because they were also old. So like nothing was updated or whatever. And this person came in asking about our apartments. They wanted to live there. And I was like, great. I'm like, get this lease. Get that bread. And I can't. Let's catch some rye.
Oh, God.
So I started asking like all the normal questions and when do you want to move in and how big of an apartment are you looking for and blah, 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 blah. You want to live here. It's great. I love it. Except for the part where I hate it and cry every day. But you know, it's awesome. He's like, oh, okay, that sounds real good. I want to live there. What's your criminal check?
Oh.
Like that is never, ever a good
That's
sign.
literally the equivalent of going into a job and being like, do you guys drug test? Because I can't work here if you don't.
Yes. Okay. Fair housing, really big
If you
deal.
don't.
So I can't say anything, right? So I'm like, oh, we accept any applicant who wants to live here and passes our credit and criminal screening criteria. Let's look at that criteria together. Clearly, I've done this a lot. And so you go through, and there's like this whole chart that's like, if you committed a felony against wildlife, it has to be 4 years off your record. And if you committed a misdemeanor check fraud, it has to be 3 years off your record. And if you committed a murder, you just can't live here. Sucks to be you.
Well, good. I'd hope so.
So we are going through, and I'm just kind of like, here's the grid. I'm not going to guarantee if you're going to be approved or denied. You're welcome to apply if you want to. Do you think that what happened might fall into these categories? And he's like, what if I don't really know what category it is? And I was like, oh, okay. So if you don't mind, would you tell me a little bit about it and maybe I can help?
Right.
So he's like, I guess it'd be a crime against a person, I guess. Okay. Yeah, we'll go with that. And I was like, okay. So on our sheet here, it needs to be 3 years out if it's a misdemeanor or 7 years out if it's a felony. If you don't mind my asking, what kind was it? And he was like, oh, it was a felony. So how long ago was it? Last Saturday.
Oh.
I was like, oh, well,
Were you scared at this point? Good
I was
Lord.
a little nervous because I didn't know
bet.
what was going on. And I was like, well, sir, you're welcome to apply. I'm not going to stop you. But based on our standard criteria, chances are it's going to be declined. He stands up. He gets like bright red in the face. He slams the desk and he's like, you pee on one cop and you can't get a job. You can't get an apartment. It ruins your entire life. And he storms out and
Oh
slams
my
the door
gosh.
behind him. And I am busting up laughing.
Did you wait for him to leave? I would have just burst in.
I barely made it. I barely made it until he left. 'Cause
Oh
I was like,
my
I was
gosh.
I was expecting him to be like, oh, okay, never mind then. But he's just
Right.
like, you pee on one cop. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Shoot, you can't do that. And so he didn't come back in.
I'd hope not. Oh my goodness. Okay. Good. What scenario do you think this is okay?
I don't know.
Are
I feel
you
like
in
there's
a-
more to a story. Like there's got to be
Yeah.
more to the story, right? You don't just like walk up
to a cop
and pee on a
yeah,
cop.
no.
I mean, it was a felony, right? So I would feel like,
I think that's harsh too.
I
Can
mean,
we just talk about that?
is it though?
a felony?
If someone
for
peed on me,
peeing
like
on someone. I would not want them to have a felony. I just think that's harsh. Like, I'm assuming he was drunk. Like, I'm just gonna
maybe,
make that assumption.
or maybe he's crazy.
That too.
I mean, either way,
Then
I'm kind of
I guess
okay
it
that he
should
didn't
be.
move
Okay,
in.
well, yeah.
I don't know, if someone peed on me, I'd be pretty pissed off. So that's one of my favorite applicants. Like there was the girl who ran in and was like, "Oh my god, do you have a 2-bedroom?" I'm like, "Yes, I got you. Like let's do this." And she's like, "I'm going to jail tonight. If I put down my deposit right now, will you hold an apartment for me?" I was like, oh.
Did she pee on a cop?
Is this a trick question? I don't know. I'm like flipping through our guide. I'm like, there's nothing about this. Like, what do I say? But if she's going to jail tonight, did she plan on committing a crime? Did she already commit a crime and she's going to turn herself in?
Yeah, probably.
Is her like bail up? Does bail go up? Does bail
don't
like
know.
run out? I
I've
don't
never
know.
been to prison.
I've never been a criminal.
I think she's
And
probably
then-
going to turn herself in.
But if she was going to commit a crime, it wouldn't be on her record yet, would it? So could I deny her? Probably not.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
it
what
was
did you
so
do?
weird. I didn't think I had a choice, so I told her availability. And I was like, so we do have some criminal checks here, so, you might want to look into that a little bit. But
tonight.
yeah, so I told her to go get a money order, and I was just going to call my attorneys while she was gone and just,
Right.
like, buy myself some time. But she never showed back up, so
That's
I was like,
scary.
maybe she just went on to jail. I don't know. But if you're in jail, do you need an apartment?
That's what I was going to say.
I'm so
How
confused.
about you just stay in jail, hon?
had so
You
many
don't need to pay
questions.
for it.
And it's not like it was a gag. Like she was on the phone, like with her mom, like screaming at her, and like there was,
gosh.
I don't know, there was a lot of stuff going on.
Good grief.
But
Oh my goodness.
what about you? Any crazy people at the zoo?
So yeah, one of my zoo stories. So I worked for a little bit I first started in customer service there. And during my time, it was during the winter hours because this zoo that I worked at was open 365 days a year.
It's a lot of days.
It's even Christmas. Like you would not,
Wow.
like, yeah, literally 300. Like you don't think that?
No,
365 doesn't really mean a lot
It's
until
like-
you're like, oh, you have to work Christmas.
the whole year.
Right.
So we have established so far 365 days in a year.
Means a year. So this guy comes in that was very apparent that he had been drinking. Just a note on that, we didn't serve alcohol at the zoo, so he pre-gamed and then
Ooh.
came to the zoo
That's hardcore.
by himself.
Okay.
No one else with him.
Was he
no
like?
children? Yeah, it's very apparent that he had been drinking. And comes in quite intoxicated.
Okay.
It's winter time, so he has all his, snow jacket and gloves and everything. Proceeds to go up to the tiger exhibit.
Okay.
Climbs over one of the barriers
What?
to the chain link fence that separates him and the tiger.
Okay.
Yes.
This is going well.
Sticks his hand in through the chain link fence,
Oh
and the tiger bites his finger off.
no! Oh.
Yeah.
What? Like off. Like,
It was stuck in the glove.
oh my God.
So he comes running back down. Like he's running. His hand is bleeding everywhere. He's holding his hand. Obviously, his glove's gone. He's bleeding profusely.
And like,
running
could you
down.
tell, like when you see him running, like,
Not really. Like you could
just
tell
see
he was
blood.
in distress and like he was freaking out.
Yeah.
He was drunk also. So
drunk, screaming, bleeding guy.
and surprisingly, like he was so drunk that he probably didn't realize how much pain he was in. So you would think like a normal person's reaction would be way more intense, but he was definitely toned down.
Oh,
like they
whoa.
did not know that it was that severe until they got back up to the tiger exhibit, pulled his glove out of the fence, and his finger was still in it.
Oh my God, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
What do you do?
It was insane.
What do you do with that?
I mean, we had an EMT on staff, so
Okay.
they had to come bandage him up. I don't know. They did what they did and called an ambulance. And
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Just send this guy.
that's a great way to spend your afternoon pregame and then go to the zoo drunk by yourself.
Wander around and it's like about a hike to get up to that tiger.
You do. It's at the top. It's at the very top.
So
of the
he's
zoo.
just like falling down the hill, like
I really wonder if he even ran the whole way
Or
because
he
he
just-
probably didn't even feel it at first.
He just
and
stopped and got
suddenly
distracted.
realized that he was bleeding profusely.
oh, looked down and got
And,
surprised. What happened?
I also did not see the whole thing. I saw when he was freaking out a little bit, but I was also working and there were still people coming into the zoo, surprisingly. Even in the winter, people do. But that was a fun
goodness.
time.
I mean,
I
except
learned
for
a
the
lot of animal facts, useless animal facts that now I don't know. Like giraffes, they're vertebrae. You'd
Yeah.
think they have a lot of vertebrae because their neck is so long.
Right.
But they have the same number as humans.
I'm like 5'0". I got this stumpy little neck. I can't even wear big earrings because they just sit on my shoulders. So maybe if I call myself a giraffe, and I think you have the same vertebra as a giraffe, maybe I
I
could,
mean,
like,
does that make you feel better? Does that make you feel taller?
it does. It makes me feel like more stretchy. I don't know.
I got to feed a rhino.
What were you, like a wallaby wrangler or something?
No, I worked with the wallabies for a while.
Yeah, the wallabies.
That was horrible.
What was your title?
I was a
Wallaboo-wallagist.
good try. I think it was just a zookeeper assistant
Oh.
during that time. It was horrible. I hated it.
Specialty wallabies. What's so bad about wallabies?
It wasn't that. It was just I didn't get great training at that time. They threw me in that area and really didn't train me at all.
Like, what is the wallaby and why does it need help? Like, you would think that there's like a fact sheet.
No, they wanted to do so. The alligators or crocodiles or whatever they had were in that area too. And
Alligators and wallabies. It's like the whole
they
alphabet.
weren't in the same like area, but
Oh,
they're
okay.
in the Australian
General
area.
vicinity.
Yeah.
Got it.
They wanted me to do like an alligator talk, like where I talk about all the facts.
What?
She's literally on her way to do the talk and she's like, "Hey, you want to do the alligator talk? You
That's so
mean
weird.
the ones I don't know anything about? Yeah, I definitely want to get on a mic and say alligator facts." And then she never asked me again. And
So alligators are real big, have massive
Right.
chompers.
I knew nothing about them.
Sharp
nothing.
toothes.
And no one told me to prepare. No one was like, "Hey, learn all these alligator facts." Otherwise, I would have. And I did after that, but then they never asked me again.
Oh.
So
You know, what always gets me is they have like such stumpy little arms. Like, I feel like they would look so much scarier if they were just a little bit taller. It's probably what people say about me too, now that I think about it.
wouldn't be scared
I mean,
of one?
but it's so little. Like, you can just jump over it. I mean, it's long.
They're huge.
It's like a bus. It's kind of like a short, but it's like a flat bus. I don't
Okay.
know.
Is it short? Is it long? Is it a bus? Is it small? I don't know because there are a lot of words going on
But
there.
the moral of the story is they have such little arms and they have to walk all like waddly. It's just amazing that they can like get anywhere. You
I
know?
get that. Yeah.
Which
It
again,
does look funny. It does.
probably what people say about me.
Okay. So should we read out of our encouragement pouch?
Yeah.
That sounds really weird.
There was a sale. Okay, let me start with this. There was a sale.
That's how it always starts.
And so I follow this girl on Instagram, the latest Kate. You know what? I don't know if it's a girl. Maybe it's a boy. Maybe
That's true.
whomever you are, the latest Kate. Thank you for your encouragement. And the person draws these encouraging things about coping with life and anxiety and depression and all the things that I suffer from, apparently. I'm like, how does she know me? And they're just like with these cute little animals. And so, you know, sale, I bought a bunch of stickers. I bought like the little zipper pouch. Didn't have a place to put all the stickers because I'm also a little like, if I put the sticker somewhere and I want to move it, it's
no.
stuck.
That's the purpose
So,
of stickers.
I know it's the
It's to
purpose of
stick.
stickers, but I have some commitment issues with them because whatever
Okay.
I put them on, I want it to be permanent. Like for now, they live in a pouch until I decide.
So it is our encouragement pouch.
Encouragement pouch.
Which says little encouraging things, and we will read one each
Okay.
week. Today's quote is, "Hey, just a quick note. You're not failing. Your anxiety is just acting up again.
Oh,
Sorry."
does. It totally does because you get all anxious, you get in your head, you get worked up, you stop laughing for like half a second, and all of a sudden you feel like everything's falling apart.
Yep. My thing is, I literally have to feel like I'm helping somebody. In my job, I have to feel like I'm needed.
Yes.
And if I don't feel like I'm needed, I just go crazy.
But okay, so I'm the same way, but I'm an introvert. So I'm like, I want you to need me, but I don't want you to talk to me all the time. Like, can you
I
just
want you to need me through email.
Can you need me from a distance? Because I want to feel part of this community while I stand in the corner and not interact with people.
Please include me, but I'm not going to join in. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It's like the whole I want to
It's
be
that
invited.
simple. It's that simple.
But I'm not going to go. It's that. It's totally that. Yeah. Like my whole gig is like I want to help people and I just can't do that because you know what? Those jobs don't pay money. Need the cash
You know
money.
what my therapist said?
What'd your therapist say?
She said, you should volunteer. I
You
said,
know,
ain't nobody got time for
Ain't
that.
nobody.
I want to help people, but do I want to help people that bad? No. Okay.
I kept thinking like, okay, so I was doing 2 jobs and I was doing school. And I was
Right.
taking care of my disabled family member and like I had a lot going on. I was like, you know what? I just don't have time to volunteer, but one day I will. And so now I'm just doing the one job and taking care of my family member and I'm tired.
I know.
Like, why?
I don't want to
like,
resent these people that I'm helping.
I
okay?
don't. And I'm just so blasted tired all the time. So like
Right.
how
Same.
was it that like 5 years ago I could do 2 jobs? I worked like 49 days in a row. Like that was normal. That
Right.
was cool. Ain't no big deal. I had so much hustle and I don't know
Right.
where it went cuz now I'm like, oh, Saturdays are for Netflix. Like literally nothing else.
You have to take those days. That's what I've learned too, because I make myself feel guilty
It's true.
if I don't do anything. And I make myself feel guilty if I do something the whole day and I don't rest. So there's no winning. You're welcome.
22. There's no winning. You're
winning.
welcome.
You feel guilty either way.
But you know what? You're not failing. It's your anxiety acting up again.
Thank you.
Full circle.
Dang.
Oh my God.
Tied that in like a pro.
It's like you're talking to me personally.
Well, guys,
Okay,
thanks
bye.
for listening.
The way you
The
said
end.
that.
Oh,
So
wow.
we are going to be back here every week. Our goal is to get these out Sunday night so that on Monday you can listen to What the Monday on your way to work and get to work and be like, I am in such a blasted good mood right now. Oop, I tapped the desk. I am in such a fluffing good mood right now. You guys cannot bring me down. And your week's going to be great.
Yes.
And if it's not, you're going to write in and tell us your stories.
Yes,
So that
please,
we
'cause
can
we
make
need those.
everyone's week better.
I would love that. I
How-
would love to make. Oh, that's us helping people. There
Helping.
we go.
What?
We're trying.
Through a podcast.
So if you do have a funny job story that you like to submit, and we will read your funny job story.
Yeah, we will.
Submit it at whatthemonday.com. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram.
At What the Monday Podcast or on Twitter at Podcast Monday. We're going to be sharing things that we deem funny throughout the week. Obviously, you'll get updates there about our new posts. Podcast, voice, tunes, what?
Episode?
Episodes.
Is that what you were looking for? Okay.
Episode equals voice tune.
Yep. And we'll be posting stuff that kind of pertains to our week too. And we will be posting from our encouragement pouch. Not
Encouragement
from it.
pouch.
We're not in there, but we're going to post things that we pull out of it.
If I'm having a bad day, maybe I
It
want to
sounds
climb.
like a great place.
I can climb into the encouragement pouch. Can we get a 10 and be like, this is my own personal encouragement pouch? That's where my stickers can go.
Where can your stickers go?
On the inside of the encouragement tent pouch.
Okay. We'll get right on that.
Obviously. Man, I really thought I figured something out for once.
So what have we learned?
We learned don't be on cops.
Don't stick your hand in a tiger cage.
Giraffe have the same number of vertebrae as people. And send us your stories at whatthemonday.com for next time.
Bye.
Bye. Well, what the Monday podcast basis is in humor and comedy. Names used are not actual. Content is merely an interpretation, and any relationship to an actual event is entirely coincidental.